All right, you're gonna have to excuse me if the camera does this number. So, as you know, I have drones. I've always been a drone guy. I started toying with the technology before people even knew what drones were. So, just generally operating drones isn't a problem that I have, except that there is a problem that I have. DJI, in an effort to basically pander to FAA, CAA, and all those other .gov agencies, put so many things into their drones that now you can't even fly them. That's how ridiculous this is. Right before I left on the trip, I went ahead and updated literally every single drone for every single firmware, every single no-fly zone, every single everything. Imagine my surprise when two of my FPV drones, DJI Avata and DJI FPV drone, don't want to fly because it says, and I quote, fly safe update required, takeoff not permitted. Now, as you might imagine, to the backdrop of canyons in the middle of nowhere, there is no internet. Now, had I brought my Starlink with me, that's in my motorhome, that would have been a different story, right? Like, I could just zoop, but my Starlink is mounted in my motorhome specifically for the purposes of the motorhome, right? Like, how? What? I don't like what? There's something about FPV drones specifically, and this is what I've noticed because I have like a whole bunch, I have like, I don't know, 15 drones from DJI or something like that. A regular cinematic drones, that would be like the Mavics, for example. Probably scrape right now. No, I didn't. Okay. In any event, cinematic drones don't require that update so often. With FPV drones, it's as if like as soon as you get an update, a week and a half, 2 weeks later, we gotta update. It's like that is one of the stupidest things I have ever seen. Like, what if you don't have access to the internet? Like, what are you supposed to do then? You could be flying legally somewhere, all these things, but you can't fly because the thought of having a Starlink have crossed my mind, but the problem is, like, where I have it mounted in the motorhome, it's not like a 2-second removal thing. Maybe like if I'll probably do that when I like start overlanding and off-roading and everything like that, which I don't know if I'm gonna do this year, but either way, that's down the pipeline. What is going to happen is that this problem will be self-fixed just by nature of having a portable internet station. I like DJI, honestly, this is just stupid. Like, you shouldn't have to update your database on a weekly basis. Like, you shouldn't. That being said, I don't know if it's the fact that my neck hurts like a mother trucker or what, but this didn't make my neck worse, which is good. I did get 3 flights in on DJI FPV up on top of the mountain where it was super windy. Here on the bottom, I've flown my cinematic drone, which I was gonna fly anyways. But like, I wasted probably half an hour of my time trying to figure out why my other 2 drones just don't work. Now the great irony is I'm going to Moab right now. Guess what's the first thing I'm gonna do? Instead of grabbing lunch, I'm gonna be updating the firmware and the flyware. And that is just stupid. I mean, I do have to grab lunch anyways. I didn't bring any food with me. And it is 12, I think it's 12:22. I don't know. Whatever local time it is. But I am hungry. Which is good. Good. Hungry is good. Hungry means that you have appetite. Hungry means that despite being miserable and in pain, at the very least, you know, you have that going for you. You know, I've mentioned this multiple. Oh, crap. Shoot. Alright, we're about to probably horribly drag, but I'm gonna try and avoid it as much as I can. I probably will drag. Maybe. Yep. Yeah, rear hitch isn't conducive to off-roading. Simply because of, you know, approach and departure angle and all this stuff. Mercifully, I'm dragging it on relatively soft clays rather than rocks or something of this sort. There's another overlanding people. You know, one thing about Moab that I find interesting is the fact that people that come here are like-minded. You know, like, nobody will be like, oh, why do you need a rooftop tent for? Why do you need 37-inch tires? Or something. You know, everybody that comes here for the same purpose, and they're all you know, basically driving variations of the same vehicle, whether that's a Toyota or a Jeep or a Land Rover or whatever is in between. I think what I'll do in the future, I may actually do it today still, if I have enough daylight. My pain has got to the point where it removed itself from being debilitating to just hurting like a... You know, I've explained this previously. If I had to like describe what it feels like somebody cut my head off and stuck it back in, or took my head with the spine, just ripped it out and then shoved it back in there. The weird thing is, after the accident, it hurt obviously for, you know, a couple of years, and then the pain stopped. Like, it literally stopped. Like, I didn't feel it anymore. I felt like a normal human being. And then in 2023, for no reason whatsoever, You know, I really wanted to go to somebody, medically speaking, right before the trip. But then I thought to myself, I was like, okay, well, if, you know, this could possibly hinder this trip, so I may, upon coming back, visit me a doctor or two or something like that. Because this isn't normal. I mean, you know, I know I have herniated discs in there, I have bulging discs, I have pinched nerves, I have like the whole freaking enchilada. So folks, as we're winding down the canyon all the way back to the pavement, this, you know, the Long Canyon isn't a difficult drive. I would recommend it to any new off-roader. But it is long, that's why it's called Long Drive. But it's not like super duper long by comparison. Like Chicken Corners is like 26 miles just by itself. Entrance to Chicken Corners is probably another 20 miles or so. This is done, like if I didn't stop to fly drones, I'd be done with the whole thing probably in about 40 minutes or so each way. That being said, this is a lesson from me to you. If you consider doing Long Canyon, absolutely do not, under any circumstances, go to Long Canyon second half of the day. Reason being, well, I guess you could go down, just don't go up second half of the day. And reason why is because you're gonna get sun that's setting over the cliff walls, shine in your face entirety over the time, making your 40 minutes absolutely miserable, and you can't see nothing. Don't ask me how I know. But any other time you could go both ways. It is pretty, in fact, I would actually advise you to do it both ways. I would advise you to do every trail that allows you, you know, both-way traffic, to do it both ways, because you get to see a whole bunch of things that you otherwise didn't see, just because your vantage point is different. Now, I'm not going back up, unless I somehow magically fixing to update my firmware in Moab. I may come back, but my focus right now will be to drive 128 that way. Oh hey, there's an arch. One second. Bear with me. Right there. Huh? Anyways, right now I am going to put the camera down and mosey over to Moab.